Okay. So we should have been looking at these and identifying how the solutions relate to the graph and seeing any patterns that we might have. Okay, Ruben, what did you notice? Oh, you did, that's right. Like, where did he go? Leah, what do we notice? Very good. That's what you should notice. Okay, that's the idea. That's the key takeaway here. Okay, write it down if you didn't. The solutions to a quadratic equation are the x-intercepts. Okay, they are the x-intercepts. Very important, highlight it, star it, circle it, however you need to know that that's what they are. Okay, if you're confused by the word x-intercepts, all it is where it crosses the x-axis. Where the graph crosses, I keep spelling without the R. That's another way of saying x-intercepts. That's what we wanted you guys to see. Okay, so now you try it. I want the solutions to these quadratic functions. Quentin, what are solutions? For D. -3. Very good. Crosses here and here. So x equals -3 and x equals 1. Tony, what about E? Very good. So it should be here and here. So x equals -4 and x equals 0. Riley, what about the last one? Where does it cross the x-axis? At 4. Okay, so it's just x equals 4. In this case, there's only 1. Most of the time, you'll have 2. Okay, it'll cross twice. Sometimes it'll have 1 when the vertex is on there. What happens if it doesn't cross? It probably doesn't cross the x-axis. Okay, kind of, sort of. So let's write that down on the back. Let's draw a picture and see what it's going to look like. Okay, so this is my x-axis, my y-axis. Okay, we can draw a parabola that doesn't cross the x-axis. Okay, just by doing this. Okay, if the vertex is above the x-axis and it faces up, then it's not going to cross. Or you can have the vertex that's below the x-axis and it faces down. Okay, I'm going to write this. Since the solution to a quadratic function are the x-intercepts if the parabola does not cross the x-axis, there are no real solutions. And that's what we would say, no real solutions. Okay, remember way back in chapter 1 when we talked about the different types of numbers, we had rational, irrational, integers. Okay, all of those numbers are in this one big category of real numbers. Okay, so in this case, there are no real solutions. We will learn how to find the solutions next chapter when the parabolas never cross the x-axis. Give everybody a couple more seconds to write this down. We're all good? Okay, going back here. Okay, so now you're able to identify the roots, the solutions, when you get a graph, okay? Now you're gonna have to graph it, okay? So some of the homework is gonna graph and identify the solutions to the following functions. So we have to remember back to last chapter when we graphed. Okay, this first one is in vertex form. Okay, and remember the vertex is H and K. Okay, so you see what would be the vertex here?
2, -8.
Very good, 2, -8. Okay, remember on the 2 inside the parentheses, we changed the signs. Okay, just inside the parentheses. So I go where x is 2 and y is -8. Okay, the axis of symmetry was x equals 2. Okay, then we need the a value. The a value is the number in front of the parentheses squared. So in this case, it's 2. Does anyone remember our patterned rate of change? Yeah. 1, 3, 5. Okay, so that's what we're going to use here with the a value. So it's a over 1, then 3a over 1, then 5a over 1. So from here I go from the center, or from the vertex, I go up 2 into the right one, up 2 into the left one. Then I do 3 times 2 over 1. So it's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and over 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and over 1. And so this is my parabola. Okay, but the whole point of this is to identify the x-intercepts, the solutions to the quadratic function. So I go look at the x-axis and I see where I cross the x-axis. I cross the x-axis where x equals 0 and x equals 4. Any questions over that? We're good? Okay, next one. Okay, next one, this is in standard form. Okay, so our first thing we need to do there is identify the axis of symmetry. Does anyone remember the formula for axis of symmetry? X equals negative b over 2a. Very good. Okay, so then we need to do, this is the a value. This is the b value. And the c value is the number by itself. We plug in the a, b, and c into the formula. So that's going to give me negative, the b is 6. Remember, you're going to change the sign. The b value is going to change, be the opposite sign. So if it's in the equation a positive, when you plug it in, it's going to be a negative. If in the equation it's a negative, when you plug it in, it's going to be a positive. Okay, divided by 2 times the a value. The number in front of that x squared is 1. So 2 times 1. So that gives me negative 6 divided by 2. Very good, it's negative 3. So the next step is to plug in negative 3 for x. So we have g, yes. Okay, let's check it. Times negative 3 equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 8. So g of negative 3 equals negative 3 squared is 9. 6 times negative 9 is negative 18 plus 8. G of negative 3 equals 9, and negative 18 is negative 9 plus 8. So G of negative 3 equals negative 1. So my vertex is negative 3, negative 1. Okay, refreshing our memories. So I'm going to go where x is negative 3 and y is negative 1. My axis of symmetry was x equals negative 3, so I'll draw that in. Then we need to use our pattern rate of change in our a value. Class, what's the a value? 1. So then it's a over 1, then 3a over 1, then 5a over 1. Plug it in. So the first step is 1 over 1, up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the left 1. Then the second is 3 times 1 over 1. So up 1, 2, 3 and over 1, up 1, 2, 3 and over 1. So this is my parabola. Okay, again, what we're looking for is where it crosses the x-axis. So that would be here and here. So our solutions are x equals negative 2 and negative 4. Okay, any questions? Okay, so you guys are going to do I now. It's in standard form as well, so use those same steps from H.